Perfect. I wanted to say thank you for all of you taking the time to come and hop on. Definitely, if you have a note book or if you take notes in your phone, definitely do that. And keep in mind, if any questions pop into your head, you can throw them in the chat because we're going to answer them kind of as we go as well. So, I am Jessica Cook, your double diamond, one of your double diamond leaders, and we're going to dive into the kind of the basics of the customer conversation, and then some bumps and things that we can experience as business owners along the way. So, one of the first ones is I remember when I started, I was nervous to just message people, but it really does start the conversation, whether it's a like or a comment on your post, a view on your story, a host a post, a reel. It's up to us to message them first. And the way that we kind of do that, an icebreaker. You know, you kind of just
You're
say,
cutting
hey.
out.
So it allows. Just gonna mute. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Am I okay now?
I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, essentially just saying, hey, so and so, thanks so much for the support on my post or my story about XYZ. You're interested in a little info. Even if they say they wanted info, it's always just good to ask because it kind of just opens the door for them to either ask questions or just say yes. And then boom, they're a potential, they're on our list. Once they're interested, they're interested. So from there, you guys, the flow of the conversation is sending them the information on whatever you were talking about and then asking them what their goal is. I think this is a really important step because it allows people to share with you what they're looking for and we know how to best make recommendations. Some people are not as open if they don't know you. They might just say, yes, I have info. Yes, I have weight loss goals. But there are going to be a lot of people that say, I'm really struggling. I had surgery or I had a baby or XYZ. And this is what I gained 50 pounds. I have such low energy, whatever the case may be. We want to be able to relate with them and responding back in some kind of personal manner. Like for me, I know it's like, as a mom, I totally understand. I have struggled before, we've all been there or something along those lines. What it's doing is building the relationship, and you're going to find that customers are going to sign much faster and stay on longer when you can start that relationship right off the bat. I know when I was new, it felt awkward. It was new, it was different. So just know that as you're learning, you're going to get better at the conversational part. But if you think of like your favorite store, your favorite restaurant, most of the reasons that we go back is because the service is good, the people are friendly. So like in the day and age of a lot of people working online, you do want to build those relationships with your clients. So relating to what they have to say, and then depending on their goal, this is a great part to upsell. If I was talking to someone about the cleanse and I said, you have a health or weight loss goal in mind to feel your best? Yeah, I really want to lose 15 pounds. I've got this stubborn weight. And I would say, I totally get that. We all get in our slumps. From what you mentioned, depending how quickly you want to reach your goal, I actually have a couple of products my clients have amazing results with. Would you like me to share a bit about them and you can see what works best? And it just kind of opens the door for them to say yes or no. Sometimes they might say no, but for the most part, people have FOMO and they're like, what else you got? Okay. And, and then a lot of the time they'll be like, ooh, that looks good. And that looks good. It is very, very rare for clients to buy one product. If you know how to make recommendations, they're always going to find something else that they want to try. Okay. And then I love giving the 30-day drop information because it touches on gut health. It touches on a little bit of energy, weight management, and things like that. When it's a weight loss goal, lots of us do weight loss posts or host a posts. So that one's the easiest one, but you do have to find a pack that works for you. And you can always lead with those 4 options, and people will usually choose 2 to 4 every single time. Okay, and then once you send them the information, then I always say, I'm actually looking for a couple people to do a review. I'm giving my wholesale discount. Would that be something you're interested in? I can send price options with the savings. People always want to save and they're always curious the price. So they'll say, yeah, how much is it? And then from there, it's option A, option B, pricing, the membership or the flex subscription, what sounds best. And they get to pick. So it's not even like we're being salespeople. We're literally just promoting. We're giving them options. They're picking what they want. And then from there, you guys, again, for price point, when we were talking about what we were going to share on the Zoom, I'm like, I actually go in for the upsell twice. At the end, I always go in for the upsell if they're getting the 2 gummy and Thermophyte X bundle. All they need to do is add on one more product and that unlocks free shipping. Same with the 30-day drop. If they're getting the full 30-day drop system, I say, hey, just wanted to let you know that you can add on a bag of our fat burning coffee or a 2-day cleanse and unlock free shipping. Are you wanting to do that this month to maximize results? And normally they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, add it on. So your order went from 30 BV with one product to over 100 BV potentially, if they're if they're interested in more. But the only way you're going to know is if you ask. So it can be scary offering the upsell. It's all mindset, which Shannon's going to talk about. You guys, I used to think, oh my gosh, well, if I offer them too much, then I'm being pushy and then they'll say no. It is very rare that in the last, I don't think it's happened once in the last like 3 years to me. In the beginning of my business, I was probably more nervous and skeptical, and they could probably feel that. So they were more hesitant about it. But honestly, it's better to ask than to not ask 100%, because the majority of people will say yes. So the other thing is I would tell them the price and then all of a sudden it would be crickets. And I'd be like, oh, okay, like they're not going to buy. That's just what our brains think. But normally it's people that can't afford it, that are embarrassed, potentially, that they don't want to say that they don't have that in their bank account. So it's not up to us to prejudge, just to give the information. And if it does go quiet, we're not giving up on them just because of that fact. It's our job to continue that with the follow-up, which Dale is going to transition to next. Dale, where are you on my screen? There you go. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Dale, and I am one of your Emerald leaders. But yeah, so follow-ups are like one of the most important things with our business. So a follow-up list would consist of anyone that you've ever spoken to about the products before, as long as they haven't given you like a straight up, no, I'm not interested. So everyone should have a follow-up list. Some people like to do it on paper. Some people like to put it in their phones. However it works for you, whatever works. I personally like to put it in my phone. Some people also have like one of those daily planners and they write it every day. I have one, but I have not been able to get myself into writing. I would like to, but I just haven't been able to. So putting it on my phone has been working for me, but whatever works for you. So basically you want to be writing down the person's name and you want to write down when you last spoke to them. So when I last spoke to them, and then also like if there is a specific date that they want you to reach back out. So sometimes when you're having a conversation with some people, you can just kind of die off. They can just kind of stop responding. So if I'm having a conversation with someone and that happens, then I'm going to follow up with them the next day. And just kind of reach back out and just say like, hey, just wanted to check back in with you. Are you still interested in the products? And just try to get the conversation rolling again there. And if it doesn't, then they're still on my follow-up list. I'm going to follow back up with them again in like a couple of days. Sometimes when you're having a conversation, they might say that they can't afford it right now. Or they might say like, I get paid on so-and-so date or whatever. So in that case, I would have them on my follow-up list and I would write down when they get paid next and I'd make sure I'd follow up with them then. You also want to be following up with people anytime we have promotions going on. I always make sure I follow up with all of my customers when you have that, because most of the time people like to get in on something free or a discount. And a lot of the times people just like might forget that, you know, you were having that conversation with them. So they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, hey, I forgot about this. Like, yes, I'm still interested. Thanks so much for reaching back out. So yeah, you always want to not forget about them. Make sure you're following up. Also, when I follow up too, I kind of like to put like a little bit of like a urgency on it, I guess you would say. So like if I'm following up with someone and like, you know, I might say reach out and say like, hey, just wanted to reach out, let you know I have like 2 discounted reviewer spots left. I want to know if you're still interested. Sometimes I find like by saying you have like 2 spots left, you know, like they kind of like want to get in on that before the spots are taken type thing. So I find that's been working really well for me as well. But yeah, so basically, anyone, when you're following up, you want to follow up like the next day, the next week, the week after, but you want to be consistent with following up, because 80% of sales actually come after between the 5th and the 12th follow-up. So, obviously it's great when we get those sales the first time, but that does not always happen. So, yeah, it's super important that you're following up with them. I was going to give you a couple of stats anyways. Okay. So yeah, 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. Only 12% of people do more than 3 follow-ups, and 48% of people don't even do follow-ups. So I'm sure that, you know, that shows in their sales. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that. I also wanted to say, like, it's super important to be following up with your customers, like even ones that order, like following up with them throughout the month, like after they've gotten their order, like you want to check and see how things are going with them. You don't want to just like get the sale and just kind of forget about them and like that's it. You know, you want to show you care. You want to help them with their goal. You know, you want them to feel important. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of all I have for follow-ups.
Awesome. That was really, really great, Dale. Thank you. Follow-ups are so key when it comes to selling. Just like she said, like 40% of people don't even do their follow-ups, which is absolutely insane to me, especially when 80% of sales happen with those follow-ups. So imagine how many more sales you could be getting if you are consistent with those things. So the next thing we're going to chat about is when people have objections, which is really, really important because most people will have questions or reasons why they can't. And it's up to us to help them work through those things so that we can get past it and help them with their health goals. That's what this ultimately comes down to, is that we are helping people to become the healthiest versions of themselves because our products are just so amazing. So if you guys want, I would love if you want to throw some objections that you find happen like regularly for you in the chat. I'm going to go through a few common ones, and if there's other ones that get thrown in the chat, then I'll try to address them as well. So one of the first objections that we usually get is that if someone has allergies or if they're on medications. So if someone has allergies, I always send them the product info sheet, which has all of the ingredients. Sometimes I'll even ask them, like, what is it that you're specifically allergic to? I can send you our product information sheet so you can check all the ingredients, explain our products are all natural and plant-based. And if someone is on medications, I always, again, send the info sheet and get them to check with their doctor or their pharmacist. A lot of times their pharmacist is actually going to be better able to help them because the pharmacist is more educated in the medications and different interactions that they can have. So that could be as easy as going to their Shoppers Drug Mart, right? And checking in with their pharmacist, showing them the ingredients, which can often be a lot faster than trying to get a doctor's appointment. So that's why I always give them that suggestion as well. The next objection is if someone says, oh, send me the website and I'll let you know, or, oh, I'm still thinking about it. So make sure that you let them know, like, okay, no worries, you can think about it. I'm going to check back with you in a few days. Let me know if you have any questions before that. So you're telling them like, I'm checking back with you. So basically they better do what they're saying they're going to do, and they're going to check the website because they know that you're going to message them. Or you're going to get a date. You're going to say, okay, no worries if you want to think about it. When is a better time for me to check back with you so I can get you, save you a spot in my calendar? So many different options to try and get the next contact point with them. You don't want to just leave it. You want to let them know that you're not giving up on them, and that you will be messaging them again, pretty much. So the next objection we have is, will they gain the weight back? And do you have to take it forever? So these ones kind of go hand in hand. I do have a script that I like to send. I believe it's in the Diamond Dreamers board. And it just says basically like, with a healthy lifestyle, someone is going to maintain their weight. Then by adding in the products, it helps to lose weight. So then when you lose the weight and you stop the products, again, with healthy lifestyle, you should maintain that weight loss. And then I also go into explaining what a healthy lifestyle would be. So it's like drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day, keeping as active as they can, not eating after 7, 8 p.m. at night, watching their carb and sugar intake, all those sorts of things. It's not like a really, really strict diet, right? Because we want it to be sustainable for them. If someone goes hardcore, cuts out all the sugar and stops eating carbs and uses our products and loses a bunch of weight, but then when they stop all that, if they go back to what they were doing before, they're going to gain it back, because that lifestyle is not maintainable for them. So that kind of answers if they're going to gain the weight back. So as long as they continue that healthy lifestyle, they won't. And it's not forever. That's not kind of the goal. But we do have different products for weight maintenance things, like our greens, our protein powders, our shakes, all that sort of stuff. But someone would not have to take the Thermophyte for the rest of their life. That is not the idea. Okay, so the next one is there a guarantee? Again, there is a script for this in boards. If you guys are wondering where these scripts are, they're in Diamond Dreamers under potential PM questions. Those are kind of some objections. So when someone asks me if there's a guarantee, I say, well, no, because how can someone guarantee weight loss? It's not realistic. Do the products work? Absolutely. Can you lose 15 to 30 pounds? Yes, ma'am. But can I guarantee it? No, because I don't know if you'll be consistent daily. If you're using them correctly and daily, you'll see a change. It's like anything else, you have to do your part for it to work. So basically letting them know, like, there's a reason we don't have a guarantee. And basically it's because the ball is in their court when they get the products. It's up to them to have that healthy lifestyle and continue with it in order for the products to work. Okay, and then the last one I have here, or no, not the last one. So I have my friend use it. My friend used it and it didn't work. So again, this kind of goes back to, I'm going to ask, well, what kind of lifestyle were they living? Did the rep that they bought from give them all of the tips for how to use the products? And explain too, everyone's body is different. Your friend could have different hormonal issues than you do. That could have been stopping the products from working. It doesn't mean that they don't. Our company's been around for 24 years. And I think we have, I want to say it's upwards of 50,000 new customers company-wide every month. I think that's the statistic that I've seen. So I mean, like, that's a lot of people using our products. So for our company to have survived for so long and be thriving, it means that they have to work. They must work. And the last one I have is that someone can't afford it. So if they ultimately can't afford it, there's 2 options for them. We can either offer them to HAP or we can offer them to be a distributor. So you can do this either way. You can start by getting them to HAP for you, and then a day or 2 later, you can go back and say, hey, thanks so much for posting for me. You did exactly what I just did. Would you be interested in hearing about the business side of things? Or you can start with the distributor and say, like, hey, I completely understand that you can afford it. I don't know if you'd be interested in something like this, but all I do is post about the products and get paid to use them. Do you want some more information? If they say no to being a distributor, then you can ask them to HAP. Sometimes I feel it out based on the person. I'll go check out their page and see what it's like, and then kind of decide if I want to just ask them to HAP first or ask them about being a distributor. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat really quickly and see if there's any other better time. Okay, so no other objections in the chat, so we will keep going. So the last thing we're going to talk about tonight is kind of your mindset. So I know when I first started, I always poo-pooed like self-development and mindset. I was like, that's dumb. I don't need to do that. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting sales, like whatever. But when it comes down to it, your mindset is key. I didn't even realize it, but I had a really great mindset in those moments. But everyone is going to have moments of negative or bad mindset. It is just human nature. That's what we all go through. And that's where self-development, reaching out to your leader, all those things are super, super important. So first of all, I'm going to give you guys a few books. So there's a book called Go for No. Basically, if you think about it, as you're sending messages, as you're sending these follow-up messages, you want to be thinking to yourself, okay, if I get 20 no's, I'm going to get 2 yeses. Or if I get 10 no's, I'm going to get a yes. You are going to message people and hope that they say no, right? You're like, please tell me no, because I know every time I get a no, I'm getting closer to that yes. So it's your mindset about it. Instead of messaging people when you're doing your follow-ups and being like, this is stupid, people aren't going to answer me anyways, why am I wasting my time doing this? Like somehow your energy just comes through your messages. I can't even explain it because it doesn't really make sense, but it does. And so when you're talking to people, make sure you have that mindset that you're like, okay, I am positive because I am helping people with their health goals. This is not just another sale. It's not just another person. It is individual to each, like Jessica and Dale were saying, that we want to ask them, what are their goals? What are they going through? We want to relate to them. We want to make sure that we're connecting them up with the right products. So when you're having the mindset of that you're helping all these people, it's so much different than just like, oh, I just need a sale. Oh, I just need a sale. Sure, those are great and those will come, but ultimately it's those people that we're helping along the way that are super important. And when you have a mindset of helping people and putting other people before yourself, just the fruitfulness of your labors will follow when you're not always just focused on yourself. So another great book is called The Power of One More. And another one that I really recommend that I'm listening to right now is called Worthy. It's really, really great. It kind of explains how self-confidence and self-worthiness are 2 completely different things, which I never even thought about before. And when you are doing your work, doing your follow-ups, messaging people, you have to have that inner self-worthiness that it doesn't matter what people say to you, you still feel good at the end of the day. That no matter what someone says to you, it's not going to waver how you feel about yourself and your worthiness in life, basically. So it's a really, really great book. Totally recommend, you guys. So again, be brave when you're messaging these people. Know that it's all going to pay off when you're putting in the efforts. Sometimes we have to be faithful. I always go back to Stacey Alcala's speech at Green Carpet last year, where she was like, all we have to do is be faithful, 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 and then God will be fruitful and fruitful and fruitful, and he's going to bring those fruits of our labors to us. But again, it's trusting in him. It's following all of these guidelines, all these tips that the ladies have given us tonight, and just knowing and believing in yourself that it can happen, it will happen, and kind of going from there and knowing that what we're doing is so much good for all these people that we are coming into contact with. I know one of my favorite stories is a girl that was using our Thermofite X. She messaged me and she fit into her wedding dress. So it still gives me like goosebumps talking about it. Like, can you imagine how much more confident she felt on her wedding day, like the biggest day of your life, because of our products? Like, that is crazy. And it just like makes my heart happy. And that is what we are doing for people. We're putting this out there to help them in their lives. I've had so many moms say that they can keep up with their babies again. And it just makes us feel so good to help people. So if you have that mindset, you're going to go so much further here. I think that's all that I have for you guys tonight. Jess, Dale, do you guys want to add anything else in here?
I don't have anything else. I was just typing in the chat, but honestly, it is so rewarding. Like Shannon said, the wedding dress one. And then like I've had it where someone has been pre-diabetic and they were like so nervous that they were going to become a diabetic. And then all of a sudden they get their numbers down and they're like, oh my gosh, I did it. Or like someone who's like, I need surgery, but I can't go in for surgery because I'm so heavy and I need to lose the weight and I'm struggling. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I reached my goal and I can go for my surgery. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, the send the messages, ask people their goals, and just trust in the process.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, I think that is it. And we made awesome time, Shannon. We were like, oh, this is gonna go like long. But I appreciate you guys. We all appreciate you guys taking the time to come and hop on and learn. And I will be posting the recording. I'm going to do it as soon as we hop off. And then you guys can share it with anyone who on your team who might have missed it, or you can go back and rewatch it if you want to take notes and all that kind of good stuff. But appreciate you all. And the promotion code for the 45% off is still going on, you guys. So send those messages, do those follow-ups, all the good things. Good night.
Woohoo.